Thank you so much for joining us today. We are Birth It Forward Book Club, and today we are going to be continuing Belly, Body, Soul, and we will be discussing Chapter 6, Childbirth Education. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now let's hear from some doulas who know squat.
Anyway, I like this section on the doula information too a lot. It was very clear. A doula is not a medical provider. This is what their scope is. This is what they provide. And it's highly recommended that you have one.
Yeah, you love that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes. Everyone is jumping on that bus too lately. Like, please get one. Please, if they've experienced it in the right way, they're it's like,
Yes.
please have one.
Yeah. Well, and we're only there to help support. We're there to give you that information. We're not there for any other reason. You know, we shouldn't be in the way of medical providers.
Mhm.
So, how to
So,
avoid this section?
I think we've answered we do find this to be a good book for clients starting the pregnancy journey.
Mhm.
So I guess chapter 6 is where we are. Does
Mhm.
this book feel like a mini childbirth class in a book, or rather just some notes to get you by?
I don't think it's enough to replace a childbirth education
Yeah.
class. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't think any book is enough to get you like the same as a childbirth ed class.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of listening and interacting if possible, meeting with people if possible. You know, the grade A standard is go somewhere in person and
Mhm.
learn. And then B standard is like watch a really good recording. And then C is like a book.
Yeah.
And then D to F is hospital created.
That's what I was gonna say. The slideshow.
The slideshow,
slideshow.
you do better reading a book.
Yeah.
Reading through PDFs, like, yeah, this is great.
There you go. I do think it's a great intro. It's a great intro. So they can get their feet wet with this, or they can use this as a way to remember the things that they talked about in their CBE class. So you either go to a CBE
Yes.
class, take that, and then you're like, I'm really overwhelmed. Here are my notes here, but
Person detected at driveway cam.
sorry, here are my notes here, but now I need to remember some stuff, or I just need a quick lookup, and then you can use this book for that quick lookup, or vice versa.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
getting
think so too.
a start, and then I'm going to go to my CBE, and okay, these aren't totally new words, so it's going to stick with your head a little better.
I think so too. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like to trigger it so that if they're in that space, then they'll be like, I did read about this. And then, like you
Yeah.
said, verbally in person, that person can elaborate now and they can get like a Q&A feedback versus you can't Q&A with the book. So
Right.
Yeah, I think
you
it's a
can
great
just,
conjunction with
you
a
can
good way
just
to.
Google. Like I had one of my clients do the other day. She was like 22 weeks and she's like, baby's not moving a lot. And she's like, so Google said that something. I'm like, no. Google
You're
is not
22 weeks,
telling the
baby.
truth right now. Google is wrong this time.
Right.
You're only 22 weeks. You're
Yeah.
not going to feel
Like,
that much movement.
exactly. It was like, no. Let's not jump to the stairs with Google. So that's what happens though. Like, you read these information, you read, then you go to Google, and Google is like, you have cancer, the baby has cancer, everyone's gonna die in 4 weeks. And then it's like, run to the emergency room, and they're like, oh, sweetie, you're dehydrated. So you know what I mean? Like
Drink some
we
water.
just like
Get some electrolytes.
that, like you said, having the book and then going somewhere and talking to someone is saves a lot of emergency room visits, I would
Yeah.
say.
Definitely.
Yep. And I love to
Definitely.
hear on 76, she says, I hear so many women say that they are too tired to attend birthing classes, but I urge you to attend for the knowledge and the power. Yeah, absolutely. It is
Right there.
Well, you should definitely be attending these things,
Yes. Yes. They
I've
are.
ran across a couple that's happened, and then in the birth space, we're all confused, all sorts of confused. Like we're not knowing nothing that this doctor is saying. And I'm just like, yeah, this is why I was trying to urge you to,
Mhm.
if not do mine, do something, do one. They like, well, watch some videos, some YouTube and TikToks. And I'm like, it just
No,
doesn't quite, yeah.
no, you cannot fully
Not the
educate yourself
same.
Yeah.
through TikTok and Instagram. You can't. Because you don't know what you don't know. That's the problem.
Yes.
You're gonna look up
Yes.
and then you feel fully informed because you don't know enough to know that you're not, which is really
Yep.
unfortunate, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's an
It
experience you
is.
haven't had before. Or if you have given birth before, then it might be that there's different things that are available now, different kinds of drugs, options, or you didn't
Yep.
know that these things were available to you in your first pregnancy. And you're going to be taking this
Yep.
childbirth education class going, well, where was this? She said, well, fully available. It was
Yep.
there. You just didn't know.
It's like
Yeah.
almost like studying for the exam while taking the exam. Like, like here's the exam, and you're like, okay, so the first question, where they asked me about what's that answer so I can study it. Like, too late. It's too late.
Right.
It's a graded, it's a time test. Like you gotta
Yeah. And having
That
a
is
doula is fantastic, but they can't give birth for you. Your doula
Yep.
can't make decisions for you. Your doula can't
Yep.
give you medical advice. So they help with that, absolutely. But I've definitely had people say, oh, well, I'm basically hiring you to be my in-person childbirth educator during the birth.
No.
Hmm. Nope.
No. No.
Do
Nope.
Mm-mm.
you feel fear right now? That's because you don't know what to expect because you didn't take a
Yes.
childbirth education class.
Yes. The fear is real. Yeah.
Yes,
That's what it turns into, is fear.
it
Definitely.
does. And to quote her in the book, where was the page? I just looked at it. Fear is the enemy of birth, is
Mm.
literally what she says in here. And I totally agree. Fear is
Yeah, was that the
no.
caring fear
It is.
section? Went over the last time?
Yeah, it's farther back in here.
Somewhere in the first 4 chapters.
Well, she repeats it
Mm.
because it's that important that we repeat ourselves.
Yes, it really is. Repetitiveness is, yeah.
Hey, here, chapter page 110. As we discussed in previous chapters, fear is the enemy of unmedicated vaginal labor. This is because
Mhm.
fear experienced during labor activates our primal fight or flight mechanism, which then causes stress hormones called catecholamines.
Means
If I can only say it, that'd be great. To be released. I'm like, I know the word. Why can't I say it? But that's, I mean, fear of the unknown,
Yeah. It's
you
the fear
know,
of the unknown.
it's the fear of the unknown. You don't know what to expect. So you're already have a base of fear going into this birth space, and you can't just totally rely on someone else to do your homework for you.
No, that's what, and that's what some do. Like, you've got it for
Yeah.
me. And it's like, but I won't be going through it though. Um,
yeah, I
I
will rub your
I
I'll be
did
back.
my
I
watching.
homework.
will have it.
I
But
did my test. I did my homework.
Yeah.
It's your turn. I'm here to hold your
Exactly.
hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm I'm here to help you guide you through your homework
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
guide you
I
through
think
your
of the how
test.
to avoid C-section section. Did you feel
Which
like
page?
that was pretty page 77 and 78?
Yeah, I liked the C-section section because that was
She broke it
it
down
gives
into
a lot
pretty
of
simple rules that I thought were pretty great. Avoid
yeah,
induction, avoid epidural, stay home as long as possible, or do a home birth.
right? I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's everything we always tell everyone. And she talks about the cascade of interventions earlier in the book too, which goes
I
right
like that.
along with, with each intervention, you have the next intervention because of the things that this one did. So then you have the next
Yep.
one, and eventually you lead to a C-section.
Yep.
So avoid the interventions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As much as possible.
Like,
Sometimes they're there for good reasons.
yes.
I mean, they exist for reasons, but they're way overused.
Yes,
Oh,
they are way
absolutely.
overused. That's the problem. Like, they are good in what they do for what they do it for when they're needed. But it's like they just pull them out for like experimental reasons, and and then we're all sorts of going the wrong path, or like, no,
Yeah.
we can't, but we gotta finish down this path now because we've already started. So yeah,
Well,
it's
as you just mentioned earlier, you know, they're pulling them out for just any complication that arises even just during the pregnancy. Oh, you have gestational diabetes. Let's schedule that C-section now.
yeah.
Oh, you have high blood
Yeah.
pressure. Let's just schedule that C-section now.
Yeah. It's like we're not even going to wait and see if you can, use
Yeah.
nutrition to balance your diabetes or medication and nutrition.
Yep.
I know at least in the last couple of weeks, I've already referred two people to bariatrics and they had never even heard of it before. And I was like, this is what is supposed to be the process though, because you are technically overweight and you're having issues with the diabetes and partner together. That is the scope of bariatrics, to get nutrition involved. That is not this, a nutritionist alone is not going to help them counter their weight issue in a pregnancy time frame. It doesn't really help. I mean, I think I got sent to one because when I'm pregnant, I gain like 40 to 60 pounds. But that that is putting me in the overweight status. And so that was like the first thing they did was send me to a nutritionist. And pretty much we just sat at this table and she was like, okay, she gave me this thing and she was like, this is how much is in peas, this is how much is in corn, and this, and this. How do you eat? So I was like, I eat a bagel or English muffin for breakfast, a little butter. For lunch, I might be eating a turkey sandwich. I mean, like nothing outrageous. Like I'm not craving no pickles and peanut butter or anything crazy. And then I was like, I eat a light dinner, like simple stuff. I'm not eating fried chicken. I'm not eating like grease stuff. So she's like, okay. So then she just gives me this like pre-printed out chart and goes over the stuff. And I'm looking like, well, I don't eat bananas. I don't eat. Like we haven't had a conversation about cultural congruence of nutrition. And it's just a basic status quo of nutrition. So I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. Like I can't eat like that. Like that. Give me other things and other options that I can get the same things from. And she was looking at me like I was crazy. And so if I was in an obese status, me changing my pea and corn intake is really not going to make my weight drop exponentially in a pregnancy, because you can't drop but so much weight. What happens is you need to turn those fats healthier. So bariatrics is that field of study to do that. And so like these clients had never even heard of it. And it's just like the mishandling of clients to me. I just like push them in the right direction. Like we're non-medical, not our scope. You are a primary or an OB, overweight and weight is not your scope. So like put them where they need to be and everyone as a team, we can do what we need to do. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like you said, diabetes and just a C-section still doesn't solve the weight issue.
Yeah,
Still doesn't
straight to
solve the
C-section.
diabetes.
Well, and then, you know, we're immediately going to go in induction and, oh, it's been 2 days. Let's just break your water and see what happens.
Yep.
You know what? Clearly the body wasn't ready to go.
Clearly.
Give it some
But
more time.
You have OBs now telling clients they don't let them go past 41 weeks, like using that verbiage. So that automatically builds fear.
Mhm.
It's like, and then we're as doulas, like, your baby will come when they come, but the OB is like, no, we don't
They
let
have to come
you.
by
We
39
won't allow
weeks.
you.
Yeah,
I'm just
they
like,
have to come by
that is
39
insane.
weeks. We can't let you go longer because
Yeah.
I can never remember the stupid study from last century.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's quite the
They just pulled that one out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's best to have your baby by 38 weeks. Well, you know what? What if your dates are wrong?
Yeah, that's what I lean into all the time. Like,
That happens
this
all the
date is
time.
estimated until it's not.
Yeah. It's estimated until the baby's born. I mean,
Until you get to the so-called 40 weeks and now it's a concrete date. Like, I don't understand how
right?
that logic even works.
Right.
But
Instead,
people buy
we're
into
just going
it.
to stress everyone out by
Yep.
having this date hovering over their head
Uh-huh.
instead of,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I get it because then what do you say? What do you tell them as when you're expected to be in labor? But still, at the same time, like, really push. It's an expected due date. This is your
It's
range.
an expected, exactly. But no,
Give me a
it
range,
it
a
comes to
2 week
a
range.
range, and then by the third, like you
Yeah.
said, 37, 38, it becomes concrete. It's like you're going to
Yep.
be 40 weeks in 2 weeks, and we need to get this baby out.
Yeah.
What
No.
happened to
Did you test the
estimated?
baby's lungs? Are they ready? Because it's the lungs that indicate that labor is going to
Yes.
start. So how can we test this baby's lungs to make sure? What, Kristen?
Go get get a BPP with an NST.
Yeah.
I mean, we just start
Mhm.
doing that for home birthers. When you hit
Yep.
41 and a half weeks, time for a BPP with an NST and see the baby is good, and then those are good for 4 days. It's not that
There you
complicated.
go.
Even for some, I still
Thumbs
think
up.
like until they reach that 40 to 41, like these will do that too, but they start like early with them going for that. And the ultrasounds. I just think they overkill on that too.
Mm.
They do. They put so much stock in those ultrasounds.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so much. It kills
Ultrasound
me.
them to death. I'm just like, they're
Yeah.
like, I'm going for another ultrasound. I'm like, you just had one for 4 days. Oh
Who's
my
paying for
God.
all
And
these
she's like,
ultrasounds? Are you paying for all of them? Because holy cow,
Insurance,
that's a
hopefully.
hot.
insurance is getting hit. That's why I'm like, that's well, you
Yeah.
know what? And that's why doula should be like, you know what? I had to do an emergency prenatal with my client. Do some
Yeah.
spinning baby moves. Should be able to charge extra. Like,
Well, I mean,
I do
sometimes we
all of these
do
ultrasounds with
emergency
my clients.
prenatals.
I
Yeah.
know they're at their visit limit, but I had to put in that emergency visit. So I need some
Yeah.
emergency pay for my last minute visit.
I don't know about you, but I have done those where, mom's coming up on that 41 weeks and they're starting to get those threats of, hey, if you don't get in here on your own, we're going to make it happen. So we're like, okay, let's
And
do
I
some
did
things.
just start doing that in the last, what is it, since the end of last year. I did not used to, but I've come to the place now because of the pressure being so great
Mhm.
from the OB that I felt like I need to intervene here because
Yeah.
it's getting out of hand. Like
Well,
before I'd be like, okay, I can talk
Stretches and
about the
stuff
clip.
with them. Is that what you're talking
yeah.
about?
Yeah.
We go in
I,
and, I'm doing the spinning babies. I'm doing the sideline release. I'm doing the forward leaning inversion. I'm showing them and doing them these things that I've sent them over the previous weeks and said, hey, do these. Now we're going to do them together because I need to make sure A, you're doing them, and B, you're doing them right.
yes, that's
Difference
my thing
between
too. I'm
reading
like,
the
are they
book
doing it
or
right?
taking a childbirth education class in person.
Yeah, that is the
Pretty painful.
difference.
This is true.
Yeah. And by the way, you can get a childbirth education class from Birth It Forward,
True. You can.
and
Hop
it
on
is
our website.
highly affordable. Hop on education.birthitforward.org and you can take Kristen's wonderful CBE class,
Cute.
and she will prepare you for your birth experience.
Thanks.
An advertise an advertisement in the middle of
Advertising to our sponsor, Birth It Forward.
Yes, flash to our sponsor.
I know,
Commercial
right?
tag.
Okay.
Well, that covers question 6 for chapter 6 of
That's a good
childbirth
question.
education.